Let's go ahead and switch off to the AFC North.
Let's go.
All right. Now, 16th seed, all the way down at the bottom. 4th seed
Damn.
in this division. 2-15, the Cleveland Browns.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't think this team is really any better than last year. I don't think
They
that
got
they've
Joe
made a whole.
Flacco this year, bro. They got Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
What are you talking
you're
about?
right. I should have taken that into consideration. Now, Mason Graham is going to make a difference on this team. That was my number one player in the draft, bar none, with no positional rankings there. That he was my number one highest ranking guy. That's how much I love Mason Graham, one of two players to grade in the 90s for me, him and Ash and Genty. Outside of that, this team is largely the same team. Not a lot of impact players. You know, if Shador comes in and he ends up starting for a good portion of the year, he might be able to pick up a win or two here and there. But 2-15, I think that's basically the baseline for them. I don't think it gets much better.
I got them at 4-13.
Okay, yeah, see, it's not that much different.
I have them winning week 5 against the Vikings. I have them
Okay.
knocking off the Patriots. I have them beating the Jet. And I got them beating the Titans.
Okay, yeah. And I gave the Jets the win, the Patriots the win, the Vikings the win. And what was the last one?
The Titans?
The Titans. I gave the Titans a win there too.
I do have them going 0-10 against winning schedules. So, I mean, I don't expect them to
Yeah.
be any good. I just figure,
I think I have
you
them
get out there
going.
and you get out there in Cleveland, and it's like one of those days where it's a monsoon, and
Mm-hmm.
all bets are off.
Yep. No, absolutely. And I gave them a 1-9 against a winning record. It was Cincinnati at the very end of the year. That's where I gave them a win against a winning record. Spoiler alert:
Number 3,
the Pittsburgh Steelers,
where'd you have them in the conference?
13th.
You're an idiot. The Steelers don't miss the playoffs. I too have them missing the playoffs.
Okay. I just, even with Aaron Rodgers potentially getting signed to this team, I don't know how much it's going to change my ranking with with who they end up losing against. I mean, they pick up a win week 1 and against
What'd you have them at?
3-14.
Oh wow. I got them to
Yeah.
7.
Yeah. I just could be another one of those the victim of who I want to win games. A lot of these could be split division games. They could probably split with Cincinnati and they could split with Baltimore, and I have both those teams sweeping them. So they could pick up 2 more wins there. That would, give them 5. They could also pick up a win against New England potentially.
You have them winning week
and
2 or losing week 2?
losing week 2.
Okay.
Yep. It's just not a whole lot. The defense is going to do what they can, but with no one really manning the helm, Mason Rudolph, I guess. Well, Howard, when you draft him in the 6, is that really what we're placing our bets on? DK is not all that much different than Pickens in terms of play style, attitude. Maybe it's different, but play style, it's about the same.
I do think that Aaron Rodgers to DK Metcalf is very exciting for the 2 or 3 wins it might add for them.
Yeah, I think that might be where it's at. Outside of that, it's just the team's I think the team overperformed last year.
Sure.
And they might prove us wrong again 2 years in a row, and that's perfectly fine by me. But right now, looking at the schedule, looking at what they've added, what they've lost, looking at the team as a whole, 3 wins as far as I'm going. Drew going as far as 7.
All right, second in the division. Hit me with it.
Making the 7th seed in the playoffs, Cincinnati Bengals at 10-7.
Okay.
Where do you have them?
5th.
Oh, you have more wins.
13.
I'm just so nervous that this team has not touched the pieces that they needed to touch this offseason.
Can I tell you something? My
Go ahead.
seeds 1 through 6 all have
Okay.
13 plus wins.
God damn.
Yeah.
1 through 6. 1 through 6. 1 through 6 have one team has 10 wins, which is the Texans, and then 11 wins down to the 6th seed.
Fair enough. I knew we were going to differentiate on these ones. This one, I love Joey B. I think he's an MVP candidate this year, just based off of what he's going to have to do to win. I think he was an MVP candidate last year. He didn't get any votes, but he was spectacular. So,
since we're so different on this one, we just run down it real quick. I have Cincinnati picking up wins in the first 2 weeks.
I have them winning the first 5.
I have them dropping against hard defenses week 3 and 4 and 5.
Yeah, they start 7-1
6.
for me. With the only 7-1 with the loss coming to Green Bay.
Yeah, they're 2-4 going into week 7 for me.
So we'll know right away if we're where we're at between you and me on this one.
It's going to be really quick, and then they pick up 5 wins in a row against Pittsburgh, New York, Chicago, Pittsburgh again, and New England, and then 2 losses against the Ravens and the Bills. A win against the Ravens, win against the Ravens, win against Miami, win against the Cardinals, and then I gave a win to Cleveland there at the end of the season.
Yeah, I got them going 7-1 to start and ending 5-0 the last 5 weeks of the season. Losing to the Ravens in the middle. I have them losing a weird game to the Steelers in the middle, losing to the Bears, and losing to the Packers.
Yep. Yeah, see, so it's either way, whether it's the offense just wins them those games, our biggest differential is going to be that, again, I have them starting 2-4. You have them starting 7-1. It's just that's the big difference there out of the entire year. So like I've already pointed out, it's just they didn't really touch on the offensive line. You're asking guys like Cody Ford and Corda Volson to step up at your guard spots. I'm not gonna put my eggs in that basket. And the defense, you didn't really touch a lot either. So I'm a little nervous about that one. So the Bengals did as bad as you could do in one singular offseason as you can, with still being competitive like they will be. But 10-7 and make the playoffs. So that's where I end up having them.
I think he's the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, he's up there.
Top I think
3.
I think
4?
I think he's better than Tom Brady, like talent wise.
Like just raw talent.
Yeah, because he's had the arm strength since week 1. They're like the same type of player, but he's a little bit more mobile. Like, I just think that they've done him dirty in Cincinnati. And I just think that, like, I'm bullish on Joe Burrow like I am about Josh Allen. Like, I will continue to believe that he's a perennial MVP candidate every year he steps on the field until he retires. Like, I just think Joey B it's a damn shame that he ended up where he did instead of somewhere better for his career. So,
I'm right there with you. Unfortunately, there's a quarterback who's also a perennial MVP every single year that he steps on the field too. And that is the 15-2 number 2 seed in the conference, Baltimore Ravens.
All right. Well, I had the Ravens 4th. And I have them at 13-4.
And you had them still winning the division, right? Yeah, okay, 4th, right? Yeah, I just, for a team that didn't do a whole lot, we're talking about a team that was good and didn't have to do a whole lot. They didn't have to fill in a bunch of holes. They brought back what they had to bring back, right? They had to bring back Ronnie Stanley, and they got a pretty good discount on him. A really good discount. So shout out to them. Shout out to Ronnie Stanley for actually taking a little bit of discount on something like that. But they did draft Emory Jones in the 3rd too for any type of swing tackle stuff. So if someone get injured, D-Hop is an okay signing at wide receiver. Their wide receiver room is still shaky, but that hasn't really stopped that offense at all. Henry obviously just got a 2-year extension on top of it. We'll see how long he lasts, but Lamar Jackson is still Lamar Jackson. The defense is still incredibly talented with adding the best safety in the draft and Malachi Starks. and adding another corner and Chidobe Awuzie. So the team is
You
about the
know,
same team. Cheeto, it's about the same team. And don't want to forget, if you could figure out the attitude problems and the character stuff for Mike Green, that's an all-pro pass rusher. If you can figure that out, that's a really talented pass rusher. He drops to the second because of his character concerns. You can figure all that stuff out, you got another one on your hands. So the team is largely the same. Adding a couple more pieces, you drop off some, you end up balancing it out. To me, they go 15-2. Incredibly talented.
Let's run through it real quick, just see where we differ. Do you have them losing to the Chiefs in week 4?
I do not.
Okay, so who are your losses against?
Buffalo and Cincinnati.
So week 15 against Cincinnati?
Away. Yep.
I have them losing that. I have them losing to Kansas City. I actually have them beating Buffalo, but I have the Texans beating them in week 5 because I just think, and then I have them losing to the Packers in week 17.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't have that either. I think they're built for it, so I'm okay with them going into Green Bay and playing a hard-fought game if it's snowing in week 17. I'm totally okay with it. I'm comfortable with it. So, doesn't really bug me. Number 2 seed.
I've seen the snow games. If you remember, the 49ers played the Bills last year in the snow, and Josh Allen somehow threw a touchdown pass to himself, if anyone remembers that play.
Yeah.
And it's really the straight line speed that helps in the snow, and I just don't feel like the read option Lamar Jackson stuff plays too well out there. But that might just be me trying to will the Packers into a win there. So yeah, I got them at 4th at 13-4, but we're in lockstep so far. So yeah, let's do this damn thing.